Alright, Trello. Hey, Mystic. I've had this haircut for about a week. Maybe I should work on homing bullets today. I'll make it an upgrade for now. I do think maybe I should separate some of these upgrades into more like weapon modifier, but no, for now. Went around. That's chill. How you doing? 444 hours. Wow. I've been busy. Let's make a new one. I don't know if there's much point in me continuing to draw these big sprites, because I've only been using the little ones. Maybe there is. I don't know. I'll keep doing it for now. As good as expected. What about you? I'm doing okay. Where am I in the game? I'm doing alright. I don't know where I am in terms of overall progress. It's going well. We did fades. Let me show you. Last stream I added screen transitions. See how the game fades in now? And between levels it fades. Sort of black fade. It looks a lot more professional, doesn't it? I like it. Anyway, I'm going to work on homing stuff because this... this has been in my to-do list for like half a year. So I'm going to draw a house, because a house is a home. And I can't be asked to think about anything fancier than that for now. Rendering API is this. There you go. So it's OpenGL at the bottom, but I'm not directly using that. This looks kind of like a house, doesn't it? Oops. Wait, oh, I've got it non-contiguous. I'm listening to From a Distance, by the way. Acorn. I don't want to spend long on this, I'm just making it good enough that people won't ask me about it. There you go. Homing bullets. It does feel more polished. Hell yeah. Small is just half the size, huh? No? Hang on. Oh, I see what I did. Did I actually clean this up last time I was doing this? Maybe I did. Alright, fine. Good enough. The house. I've made viral game before. Viral game. I've not made viral game. Hello. Oh, cool. Hey. Oh, How are you guys all doing? I'm just using C, C++, sorry. Weird that's how that collapses, but fine. I have an idea. You know, just HPP extension. So I'm gonna make it so that I'm adding magnetic bullets, but I already have, or like homing bullets. I already have the code written for like a magnetic entity. It's what I use for the XP orbs. I see no reason I can't reuse that for homing bullets because I've already got strength and range and all the calculations done. So I'm just gonna extend the target. So you can either target one entity to be magnetized towards, or a particular layer. And this is where the bullets will come in. So I'll be able to say, if this variant is an entity, then fine, do the old shit. And if it's a layers, then we'll have to iterate through every... I'll have to find the closest entity with that mask, and then magnetize towards that or something. I don't know. Hey, Bowser. Secret? What? Oh, sorry, I thought the title was wrong. How you doing? Now I should have a... Is it match? Yeah. I guess I could use a donut variant for this. Fine. I didn't tag the Discord. Yeah, I did. Oh, I posted it, I just didn't tag. There you go. Okay. Can I teach you C++? I can't teach you C++, but you could look up a course to study online. Look awesome. How's my weekend been? It's been busy, but it's been fun. How about yours? don't know anything about language use cases, so pardon why you ask, but why choose this? Because C++ is the best language for writing a game engine. It's just the best option, and it's what I want to use. The motto is they'll do as little for you as possible, and your C++ code will be as small and fast as possible. The language doesn't get in the way. Syntax could get in the way, but the actual compiled version of the language doesn't. So you can be confident that what you're creating is as small and fast as reasonably possible. There's no runtime to get in the way, or garbage collector, or whatever. Huge Toho fan in the background.
Hell yeah.
Made lots of IRL games. Well, actually I just had leg day, but yeah. I can't pose with my leg. Do you think you'll be the strongest programmer? By far. One day. One day I'll be able to crush a watermelon with my legs. Your Twitch attached to your garbage collector. If you have to touch pointers, you'll shit the bed. Then don't touch pointers. This is C++, not C. I mean, you'll have to use pointers inevitably, but you don't have to use pointers. You don't have to do manual reference counting. That's done for you. If you use smart pointers, which you will. Crushing a watermelon is more about technique. I was doing, let me check. My current, what's the word? So I did leg today, right? My hip abduction is 79 kilos, and my hip adduction is 93. I think adduction is the one where you crush with your legs, right? Do you think with 93 kilograms I could crush a watermelon, or is it more like 150 I'll need? We're learning C, but it's hard, so you learned HTML stuff instead. If it's hard, it's worth doing. Just challenge yourself. Things don't have to be easy. Once you've done it, it will be easy. Let's see. It's hard until it's no longer hard. Exactly. It's like a RuneScape boss. The first 20 KC, it's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. The next 4,000 KC, it's like you could fall asleep and still tick perfect, kill the thing. You're like, how am I ever going to learn this door alter Zami thing? This is the worst thing I've ever done. And then suddenly you've done 300 KC and you forgot to blink. Most you ever done in C++ was a calc app when you were a teen. You could pick it up again. It's not that hard. It's just a very deep language, but you should trust yourself. Let's see. Believe in yourself. There you go. Does this have a... Oh. So it's this weird syntax, right? It's not going to be quit, obviously. God, this song's good. Archaic from a distance, dude. This doesn't have to be a reference, but you know. What was the syntax for this? Commas and stuff. And then ending with a semi. Say no more. You're gonna crush watermelons even if it's inappropriate to do so. When is it inappropriate to crush a watermelon? I don't need to break inside this, do I? No. Looks good to me. This match needs to have a semicolon at the end. Yeah. I'm using C++20. Get your thunder thighs out, excuse me. Hey, Donut. How's LibGram going? I thought you were a... Sorry, I thought you were a developer, but you are a gamer doing coding. I'm a software engineer. Yes. Anyway, no discount. Oh, you have to say return void on this stuff, do you? No, you don't. Pretty sure command is a donut. It's a donut thing, right? Donut variant? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Magnetic target is a donut variant. Entity to layers. In this case, magnetic is... No. There's going to have to be a const row. I think it's fine. Oh, I've got like an extra semicolon there or something. Oh. Weird that the format is doing this. It's not angry just because it's empty, is it? Kind of confused about the formatter here. I was pretty sure this was the syntax. You're close to calling it that, but you need to convince yourself it's not stupid. It's not stupid. Please release your library. It's the semicolon. It doesn't need the semicolon yet? I thought I saw one in the other place I was using it, but maybe I was looking at the outer semicolon. I guess I was reading this. Yeah. You're using blah 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 instead of blah blah blah. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh, that's weird. Fair enough. Ugh. Thanks. Illegal continue. Is that true? Had to be unfortunately because you can't overload curly braces. Damn. Crazy dial. I also can't continue from within the match, I guess. Although... I think it doesn't really matter. You like the new Slayer Master? You see people in max gear killing stuff like rock slugs. That's cool. I've heard that it's like a pain in the ass to find spots at multi-enemies, though. I had no issues with my Abbey Demon tasks the other day, but now I'm worried about it. I saw so many people coming into my world, but... yeah. Maybe you can match with the return a struct with a constructor that does the thing instead. Then you could use curly brace. Yeah, maybe. Okay. So for layers, we're in here, we'll need to... hang on, this doesn't... no. Okay. Within here, I'm gonna have to look for the nearest entity with... You got any Sire KC, or was it a Konar task? I have 50 Sire KC. But this... What do you mean? I just did Abbey Demons the other day, just in the Catacombs. Normal. I saw so many people coming in who were interested. I think I need to make those goading potions. I'm kind of sick of tagging stuff constantly. Running between the two rooms is kind of a pain. Okay. Do I have a way already to find the closest entity with a... Yeah, I know Catacombs is popular. Yes. Apparently you might be able to burst them in the smoke dungeon. I've not tried it. I kind of like that you don't have to use prayer pots, though, if you're doing it in the Catacombs. And the occasional ancient stuffs are fine. I don't know what I'd need from Skatizo. Pet? No, do I have the pet? I think I might have the Skatizo pet already. I don't remember. But, you know. I got Emberlight and shit, so I don't really need the shards. Okay, closest. I had closest player entity, I thought. Let's have a look in my... Oh, let's just search for closest. Closest interactable is done on a quad tree test. So maybe I could just use a quad tree test. It feels kind of expensive to constantly quad tree test for a homing thing, so maybe... For now, I can just do it constantly, but then maybe at some point I'll make it so it only looks for a new entity every second or something. I'll see how expensive it is first before over-optimizing. Let me think. I could just reuse this. In fact, this behavior is basically what I need, right? Although this is only for stuff within a collision. I'm not looking for stuff that I'm colliding with. I'm looking for stuff that's just nearby. Ooh. Quad tree only returns things that it's likely to collide with, right? For the homing thing, you'd kind of want it to home from a greater distance. It feels kind of stupid to iterate through every collidable and do a distance check, when that's sort of the point of the quad tree. Right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I need to think about this. Hey. Donut, your quad tree, right? It only shows things that are, like, likely to be close enough to collide with, right? What on earth? Yeah, okay, so it's probably not best for this. Hmm. Or, Quadtree, I don't have to pass in my hitbox. I could pass in the radius of the magnetic thing. And then it is actually doing what I want, right? Because my point is that I want to have a, we already have our magnetic system, right, in place for, like, the little XP orbs. Where they'll, like, if they're within a certain distance of the player or whatever, you know, then they'll be magnetized inside. I basically want the homing bullets to work in the same way. So, I mean, I can totally make use of the Quadtree. I can just say that, you know, if the rocket or whatever that's homing has a magnetic distance of this, it'll look for all things nearby, and then pick the closest one, and then, you know, slowly move towards it, and so on. What's wrong, Timoteo JS? Timoteo. Watch content and the jobs are way harder. What are you talking about? This is my hobby. I'm not trying to make an interesting stream. It's as interesting as it is. I'm not putting any effort into making this any more interesting than it looks. I'm just streaming my journey. Are you asking specifically about streaming, or are you asking about, like, work? Because work is work. I show up and I do what my contract asks, and then I come home. Hello, Kevin. You know what? I think the Quadtree thing's not a bad idea. Is this already in the collision system, right? Handle magnetic. Do I have good videos or places to look for wisdom? For making games? There's plenty of YouTube channels that can teach you basics. I don't know where's a good place to start. I liked One Lone Coder had some pretty simple videos, but there's a lot of them and they're quite long. So if you're like a zoomer, you might not be able to watch hours of programming advice, even if that's what you need. I don't have any particular advice in terms of videos. I would just say pick a language that looks nice to you. If you want, you can use an engine. There's nothing wrong with that. And then just pick like a really basic project to try and learn. You know, just try and make like asteroids or something. And then that gives you some direction, right? You can say, oh, if I'm making asteroids, I need to work out how to make a window. I need to work out how to draw the player. The player needs to be somewhere, so I need a coordinate. I need to take keyboard input. Okay, now I need to have the thing moving. Oh, now I need to have asteroids and randomly on the screen. Blah, 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 blah. Having like a basic project to learn on can be really nice. I wouldn't necessarily recommend just blindly following a guide, because you will not probably learn much other than how to use a tool. Yeah. You can learn your first engine in C. That's fine. C's a perfectly fine place to start. Make sure to do the actual distance check too, because the list of candidates given will be randomly include some entities a bit further away. Oh yeah. Good work, Syrup. Let's see. So handle magnetic. This is currently being handled in, I think, just at the end of the tick for collision system. So let me think. I'm already iterating. Loops within loops is always kind of worrying. Yeah, I mean, let's see how shit this runs by just every single tick giving it a new thing to move towards. But in reality, we should definitely make this lock onto one thing and then only update when the thing is no longer valid or it's a certain distance away or something. Because then, you know, it'd be kind of annoying if you have two enemies here and you shoot a homing rocket, and instead of curving towards one, it like kind of just goes through the middle of them because it's magnetizing to both every frame. But let's implement that first and just see how badly it runs. I'm kind of curious. With the Quadtree, it's fine to do per tick. Yeah, but gameplay-wise, it's not. But I will implement it that way first, just because it's easy. You get me? Let's see. So normally we do this thing with interactables. I think this is even in tick as well, where we go over all our interactables, we should make sure it's valid, and then we do this shit. So I'm just going to go Control-C, Control-V, wow. Programming. And this layers is the important part. Let's see. We want to make sure my hitbox is going to be based on... Well, actually, it's similar to what we do with magnetic. So... Because it is magnetic. We have... magnetic dot range. Oh, distance is less than magnetic range, fine. We can just use that. This is fun. Quad tree will need to be passed in, whatever type that is. My hitbox is going to be based... Oh, I need a position. Oh, easy. Collision radius will actually be max magnetic range. I think is a float, right? Oops. Got gamer mode on my keyboard. Magnetic, max magnetic range. So that's roughly what we're working with. Quad tree is a what? Loose quad tree? I can just do auto quad tree, can't I? That'd be fun. Whee! See if that is allowed. Should be. I had a comment like a few weeks ago saying I'm abusing auto. I would say I'm using auto. I'm pretty sure I have quad tree here, right? Wow. Fancy, huh? And look, I think VS Code even has a way to try and disambiguate reduce type here, but like I'm not typing this shit out. You know? That's VS Code doing that. Magic. How about auto? Oh, it won't work in C++ 69 on a Linux. An AMD processor. Damn. Okay, let's see. So we get a quad tree test of every entity. And we look for every entity, make sure they're valid. We don't need to check that they're not a player. What I really want to reuse here is probably the bullet collision stuff. Make sure it's valid and make sure we're not the same. That's good enough for now. And I don't think I'm going to need an inventory. I don't know what you were using this for, to be perfectly honest. Oh, because I guess it's normally using that for pickups or something. Actually, I'll need to check that. That's odd. Why do I normally check for the inventory here? That's weird. Maybe I only wanted to collide with things with inventories. Interactables. Ooh. Zelda. This I need to think about later. Put a pin in that mentally. That's to say I'm not going to look at that. Don't care if it's an inventory for now though. We need a collision, we need a transform. We need a hitbox based on your stuff. We need to make sure they intersect. Distance between our closest interactable distance. You are gonna be a float. You're angry at me. STD min. Okay. Ugh. Closest interactable is just an entity. Yeah. Interesting. And now we'll also need to do the check with the masks and layers. So if we have a look at our bullets. You know, it's probably only going to home onto enemies and players for now. So I could just make sure that the thing that we're homing towards is homeable. and to be lazy, let's just say. I probably should have a way to say player or enemy, like actor or something. Any behavior. How do I want that to look? So if it's not valid, or we're the same, or... how do I want to write this logic? You are not a player, and you're not a enemy behavior. That exclusive one, there's probably some better thing to do in here. So if you're not valid, or we're the same, or you're not a player and you're not an enemy. I think that's correct. The prog rock concept album. What a time to be alive. Your collision, your transform intersects. Am I not checking the mask? Your team. Use auto basically everywhere you could. Yes! No! I see the rest of your paragraph. No! Despite the languages that you use, blah blah blah. It worked fine. We eventually went back to explicit titles like an extra safety net for the compiler. Yeah. I flip on it. Like, I think I tried to use auto in most places. But honestly just lower the amount of fucking shit in my head. Decreasing the amount of concurrent threads I'm processing in my brain really helps with my mental health. So even if it's yeah, that's what matters to me. But sometimes I do want to be very explicit. This is a float, this is a size T, whatever. Even if the auto can work that out, I'd like to be explicit. Or if it's somewhere I don't want to accidentally change the signature of the function and fuck with the behavior within, I'll be more explicit within the function. Just so I get triggered if I do change the function signature. Like if the behavior relies on it being a float and not a double for whatever reason. Whatever, who cares? Let's see. I don't think I'm doing the masking stuff here, so we just need to copy that. I got distracted. It's this stuff. Ish. Or layer. Collision.masking is your collision.group. Yeah. It might just be this, basically. Am I not doing this with bullets? Or entities in all explosions. Like, there's this shit. And here we're checking for all bullets. My team. I guess I do this team thing. I don't think I want to use the team here. I think I want to use the group, the mask and stuff. I need to stop doing this. Oh yeah. Yeah, the team stuff's not really what I want here. Maybe just the masking and grouping stuff is fine. Well, I guess we'll find out. Well, this is actually more for like physical collisions, wasn't it? That was kind of the point, right? Yeah, I don't really care about their collision against me. I kind of just want to make sure that their group is within the layer mask that I'm colliding against. Which is sort of what the team thing was for, I guess. Let me remind myself. There could be stuff like player bullet, player team. They should have a team because it will be a. Who's the bullet spec? Character, enemy. Maybe checking against team is okay. In which case, I don't need the group thing. I just want to say which team that it's homing towards. I think that works. So I'm actually going to have a variant of team. Oh, do I not have team here yet? Up to the top you go. So we got team. Oh, that makes this even easier then. It's basically just this. Simple. So this should work, roughly. It'll just do it every tick, which is a bit much. We just need to apply that little movement thing that we do in here. God, this fucking album's amazing. Well, I don't need to do enter to null. We can do registry.valid. If it's not valid, then who cares? Just in pickup range. This stuff. Whee! And what we could do is just store that entity on the on magnetic, which would be fine. We can just grab this shit. Target transform not's been grabbed yet. Do I not check for transform within here? I do have this, so we could just hold on to that. Target transform dot position. Just store onto that. Easy enough. So that should work. That might be it. Let me think. Components. We have store a magnetic. We can just give it a default. Well, for now we can just say the target. Well, maybe not for now actually. It's you. I'll just do it like this. Something like this. I think something like this is usually what I do. Just give it a really strong magnetic string. And a range of like 3 or something. I don't know. Basically, I just want to see it curving. So this is without it. The bullet's just sort of... Oh, nice thing we got a grey weapon. They're slow, so it should be easier to see. I give myself homing. Sprite, it's not quite working. But we... Is it curving? I can't really tell. It's possible that the upgrade via that menu is broken, so maybe I just need to find one. Hang on a moment. Get some XP. Oh, it's like fucked up the XP. Probably should fix that. Oops. Can't actually pick any of it up. That's concerning. I guess that's what I was doing the continue for before. Entities.destroy.pushback. Oh, is this being handled? That's being handled afterwards. I do need to think about how I was handling continue here before. Hello, Neil. Let's just double check this was actually happening, otherwise I might have busted something. Oh, that's not getting called. Concerning. Yeah, I get that. Maybe there's somewhere else I was handling magnetic. I forgot about. No, it's just here. This bit I want to check. Hang on, what's the magnetic range of this thing? Range is 4. Target's enemy. Do I do it as consumed? What, sorry? This code was working before. I just need to work out what I've done where I broke it. Target should never be anything but player entity. Over here. Why is the target enemy? What have I done? Oh, it's just what it could be, I guess. That's the space it's taking up, potentially. The target should just be player entity. Need to think for a second. Hello, Poseidon. Poseidon. Nice. Yeah, the only real change here is magnetic target is a variant, but the variant's being matched here. I could call that target entity, it wouldn't change much, would it? Oh, it might! Fuck! Okay, I know what it is. Shit. Sorry. I'm name shadowing myself. My bad. I don't know if that's it, but it's certainly not helping. You have no idea what you're looking at. I'm making homing rockets using the same system I was using to make experience home towards the player. So I'm just ironing out a few things. Okay, I didn't fix that, but it certainly is the better way to do it. Let me see. If magnetic target is an entity, This is still a bit different, I think. Yeah. Hang on a moment. I've mixed myself up here a little bit. That's okay. There's certain places I was checking for the target entity, magnetic target, that should now be target entity. The places that I was looking for entity is actually the entity itself, the thing that's being magnetized. So that would be here, and here, and here. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine. And this is fine. Shit, I would have destroyed the player. That's funny. Continue's not needed, I think. This could be it, I think. You need an expensive PC to make 3D games. You don't. You could probably do it on your phone. I wouldn't wouldn't recommend it, but it's 2026. Your fucking microwave has more power than a computer from 10 years ago. Ah, wow, he fixed it. What a fucking amazing dev. Let me work out why giving myself an upgrade via GUI wasn't working though. Ah, here we go. This is dumb. There must have been a better way than this. Or was this the problem? There wasn't really. I have to switch that to visit index. This thing. Visit variant index. Was that it? Because this is disgusting. Hey, yeah, we could just do this, right? Is it as simple as this? What are you being used for? I guess I just could have... Oh no, it's being used down here for animation or whatever. Yeah, dude, that's so much better. Nice. It's a lot. Oh, that's been copy-pasted. Oops. Sick. If you wanted to learn C++, do you hop right into it? Yep. Go for it. Easier languages? Nah, just get started. By tomorrow you'll be better than you were today. A week later you'll be a week better, and you know, every minute of experience you get is a minute more than you had before, right? Man, I made upgrade stations rare. Or do they just not spawn on these rooms, actually? That's probably what it is. Interesting. I don't need money. Alright, let's see. Homing? Hey look! It's a homing bullet. Let's see. It's being emplaced. Fucking hell, dude. You don't need to copy and paste quite so much. Jesus wept. Calm down. We can go in timeout for a day. Fucking hell. I'm surprised YouTube lets you spam that much. It's crazy. Come back tomorrow and ask the same question once. See if I'm happier about it. Let's see. It's crazy. Okay. Let's see. Collision system. I want to make sure this stuff's actually happening. He really wants to know. That's a shame, you'll never find out. For every entity there's a transform. Oh, it doesn't have a movement input. That's the problem. The bullets don't have a movement input. I need to make it so magnetic bullets have a movement input. That makes sense. Spawn XP. That's not it. Pickup? Oh, it's just movement input. Yeah. Should do it. I'm just bouncing it off a wall. Still not working. Ah, here we go. Oh. Closest interactable is non-valid. That's fine. Have I made any 3D games in Unreal or Unity? I have. Here's a YouTube link.
Oh.
Shut up, me from 7 years ago. That was my, the link, what I just linked was my university project. Okay, so it should actually be working. It might just not be enough force because the bullet moves a lot faster than XP. That's fine. Oh, look at it all go. Wow. Hang on, let me make the force stupidly strong. Add a couple more zeros in there. Probably should extract this to the, yeah, well, whatever. This does not seem to be actually moving the bullet, does it? I have a feeling that wherever I'm doing movement input is ignoring bullets. Because this thing should have the force of a sun behind it. Sorta. It does not really seem to be, moving. Let me just grab this shot. Well, actually, no, you can stay in there for now. Stay strong, little buddy. Have another 0 for the road. What I want to do is check. We're setting movement force, movement input, blah, 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 blah. Is my movement input system ignoring bullets? It doesn't have physics on it. That's probably why. Does the bullet not have physics on it? Probably has linear motion, doesn't it? That would explain things. Let's see, switch bullet type. Well, actually, some of you might have physics on you. Let's see. I just want to look at spawn bullet. This stuff. Yeah, you don't have physics. I guess a homing bullet does want that. Wonder how that'll work. Can you make 3D games on Unreal Engine with semi-realistic graphics and $1,000 PC? You could make one on a €50 PC if you buy it off eBay, yeah. It doesn't need to be fancy. Although I'm saying that, Unreal probably requires 16 gigs of RAM these days. I don't know. You could just do it on a laptop, probably. But if you're going for a budget machine, what makes you want to do stuff with, I'm gonna get me copyright stroked. I guess I'll find out. Why do you want to work on Unreal if you don't have a... Like, if you're targeting budget machines? Or you're not targeting budget machines? To be honest, it's quite a heavy program, but... Depends when you bought your $1,000 machine. If you bought it a few years ago, it'll be fine. If you bought it today, I don't know. How much RAM can you get for $1,000? You might find it crashing, maybe. I don't know. Just try it. Godot has lower hardware requirements. Yeah, but it's not Unreal Engine. It's Godot. He was asking about Godot. I think. Let's see. Let's add physics. Spawn ground weapon? Oh, but pickup. Do my bullets have mass? I don't think so, right? Pretty sure I don't have any mass for bullets, so... Daisuki Tanabe. It's on Bandcamp. Velocity is... that's concerning. Do I have to completely change how bullets work? This is interesting. You don't have to use Unreal for everything. It's true, but maybe they need to do it for some other reason. Maybe they have the reasons for it. Hey, look at the homing bullets home. Isn't that nice? Oh. Fuck. It's getting destroyed. Doesn't seem to be doing anything though. I want to make a 3D downhill skate simulator. You need a good PC to handle multiple apps. I mean, having a good PC will certainly help. But if you have a machine in the last 5 years with 16 gigs of RAM, it might work okay. I don't know. I don't use Unreal. You're not asking the right person, I'm afraid. I've given you the advice I can. Am I deleting it somewhere? I don't know. Oh, it might be the fact that the force is way too bloody high and it's like going through the fucking guy. Let's pull this way down. Give it like a small range, but I have a strong feeling that it's going into the stratosphere. Do you not like Unreal Engine? I don't use Unreal Engine. I used it 7 years ago to make the game I linked to you, but I'm not using it right now. I can't give you advice about a tool I don't use. You could ask me like how to use like a tow truck. I wouldn't be able to help you with that, you know? I could tell you how to use a hammer. I've used a hammer, but I can't tell you how to use a lathe. That's, you probably get a qualified carpenter about that. I'd say just try it. It's a free program. Install it. See if it runs. Try making a little project for a weekend. Interesting. I have a feeling that it's going the wrong way. It also seems to be targeted towards me. That's not good. Interesting. 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 You want 32 gigs? I don't know. I have 64 gigs. I can't help. But my machine I bought pre-AI fucking the RAM prices, so I can't help with that. When I bought the RAM for my machine, it was like a few €100. You know? Oh, I'm checking if it isn't equal to. I want to make sure it is equal to. Whoops. That would help. But then I'm also checking for it with my collision, which is fine, I guess. Okay, this might be okay. Let's just pull the strength down just a touch. Maybe this is okay. Is programming your passion? One of them, yeah. I like programming. That's why I spend my weekends doing it. How much time does it take you to learn coding? A very long time. Or not very much time at all. What do you mean by learn coding? If you write like a Hello World program, have you learned coding? If you ship like a full feature to a client, is that learning coding? If you publish a game on Steam, is that learning coding? Like saying, like, did you learn English? I don't know every word in English. Do I not know English? Or if you just know hello, is that learning? Okay, physics? The, like, homing bullets is a little fucky right now, it seems. Comfortably make your own game. I started learning by making games, so I'd say maybe 5 minutes. I started programming in Game Maker. So, you know, I made Click the Clown, the tutorial. I'd say the next project I did after that, so like an hour, maybe? How does it work with fire? It's kind of fucked up. Ah, you capping. You're asking like a weird question. How long did it take you to learn something? There's no answer to these questions. I know it can be exciting to be like young and expect that everything just has like a black or white answer, but like, I don't know. If you're asking me to find out if it's worth you picking it up, then just start programming. Just go learn, like that now. Go pick up a book. 5 minutes to make it. Well, you're asking different questions now. You need to ask the full question up front. If you ask a vague question and get a vague answer, and you want more precise answer, you need to make a more precise question. But still, what do you mean by a full game? Is Click the Clown not a full game? It launches, you can click the clown, makes the score go up, you can quit the game. I haven't made like Breath of the Wild. No, like what do you mean? This isn't like some magic. You can make a program and compile it and run it. Is drawing like a scribble on a bit of paper drawing? Maybe. I don't know. You put pen to paper. The homing bullet, by the way, I wanted it to be more of a nudge, but it seems to be less of that. I'm wondering if I just don't remove the linear motion. If that will help. I just make the linear velocity 0. Or if that will fuck with things. I might just need to handle this in a different way. Maybe instead of physics, I can just have homing work with linear motion. That's a little better. You see the stuttering, I think, is because it's like interfering with multiple things. What I could do now is try making it so magnetic, homing bullets. If it has a... Nudge the velocity. Yes, Donut. That's correct. That's correct. Yes. What I'm gonna do is make it so it can pick a target. In fact, maybe I could just overwrite the team. That's a thought. I just use this to pick a target, and then maybe I can reuse the magnetic stuff elsewhere. It's interactable. I can just say... I hope this doesn't fuck things. Magnetic.target is closest interactable. What about that? Didn't hear you mention it earlier. I did. That's okay. Look at this. So we just use this to pick a target, which may not always be right. It's okay. I just kind of want to see how this looks. Because then we're doing all this other shit. Let's see how that looks. How long did it take to complete your first game that a normal user can play in a complete view with levels, chapter, story all completed? I've never done that. Chapters, levels, story all completed? I've never shipped a game with chapters, levels, and story. I don't remember a lot of the stuff I did in Game Maker. I've never released something like that though. Oh, you know what? It's getting destroyed now because it's interacting with it. It's getting within the range. So what I should do... Wait, hang on. Where in here would be destroying it? If it's a pickup. It's not a pickup. Hang on. Weird. I thought the behavior in here was basically the same as what I had done here. Forces-based magnetic strength. It's like asking how long it takes to write a book. Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, I've never published a game on Steam. I've uploaded lots of stuff to Game Maker and left it, like, you know, 20 years ago. I released a pretty finished Zelda engine that people could use. So I did that within probably like a year. But like, you know. What is your expectation? I think completing the first Game Maker tutorial where you click a clown is making it your first game, to be honest. You can send people the executable and they'll play it. That would be my own personal answer to that. But maybe your expectations vary. You're asking about chapters, levels, and stories and stuff. That's quite a different idea. Would someone who's made a really popular Minecraft mod have never made a game? If their mod is like a complete game in Minecraft, but it doesn't have those things? I don't know. What's the difference between a mod and using an engine? To teach you how to live. Interesting, Paul. Let's see. View magnetic target. What happens if I break in the... Does this even break from something? Return? I don't know what that would return to. Yeah, again, a problem with the magnetic strength. Maybe I should work on that nudge stuff sooner than later. It was very easy to see when it was, they released Pong unfinished. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes there's not an answer to these things. What would you do with the answer? If I said it took me 5 hours, 55 minutes, or 2 years and 6 months to do it, like what would you do with that information? We're very different, I imagine. Probably. How well do you know me that you think you can use that information for yourself? It feels like it's getting destroyed, but I don't know if that's actually the case. It's possible it's just getting like... Hang on. If I spawn it inside the thing, yeah, obviously that's fine. Yeah, something's going wrong here. So if you're a pickup, you can do all this other stuff. That's fine. You're not a pickup. So it should come in here and say, is the distance between the transforms of yourself and the target less than your range? If so, then here's your movement input and your strength. Otherwise, here's your force. Don't know why it's disappearing. I feel like it's possible that the physics is just getting a bit bonkers. So yeah, maybe I need to think different about this. So usually I require physics when I'm applying movement input, but is that totally true? Because usually you calculate force, all sorts. But really, you're still just holding on to linear velocity. None of this massively... You know what? Yeah, let's experiment. Instead of using this physics thing, we're just going to keep using linear motion, but we're going to have this movement input thing. I can keep using that for now. That's okay. Sort of the point of this component anyway. But then in my movement system, I can just have a version of this, but for things with linear motion. I think it's called linear motion, right? Or is it something else? Excluding physics. Sorry, linear. It is linear motion. Yeah. So let me think about this. I don't need this. If your minimum speed is less than... I don't think I need to handle that really. I have somewhere else I have my linear movement system. We can have a look at this as well. It's very simple. You just add the position on, right? This is just a little... If we just wanted to act like a little nudge... I don't need this friction stuff. Or do I? I don't think so. Hang on a minute. Let me just puzzle things out for a second. Some of this will obviously not be needed. Linear velocity. I don't think we need this, because this is normally how physics does moving. Really, I mean, maybe I should do this in linear motion system even. That might make things even easier. Because then I can just say if registry dot, oh well. Then I can reuse this rotate bullet thing as well, so the bullets won't look stupid. So, if we have a movement input, then we're in here. The movement input implies a force with a desired speed in a particular direction. I don't know if we necessarily need to care about the desired speed, to be honest. It's usually what you multiply the force by. But linear motion is just a simple velocity, so maybe I can use this stuff. So I can say, if it doesn't have movement input, then just move as you'd like. Otherwise, I guess it's not so linear anymore. Shut up, man in my head. Yeah, I'm gonna gut you out from here, sorry. How do I want to do this? Do I simply need to treat the movement input as its own vector and then just add them together? Just add, so instead of directly using linear velocity from linear motion, I need to construct something that is the intended linear motion path, the sort of homing path, and then like sort of pop them together. Because if I just want it to nudge, I don't want it to completely replace. And nudging implies the homing might be pulling you in that direction, you want to move this way, so it sort of finds the middle ground. Based on the, the vector length. If this vector's longer and more powerful than this one, it will obviously move more that way. Implies acceleration. Yeah. Well, my thought, as I just described with my hands, are if you have sort of these, or maybe like this, I should expect sort of my final to be like that. Likewise, if I have a really strong force here and a tiny force here, I should expect my movement to actually be that. And if it's equal, then I should expect to be somewhere in the middle, right? That's kind of my thought. So like this is where linear motion wants you to go. And this is where the magnetic wants you to go. And this can be your pos, or your angle, or your direction, or your velocity. Your final velocity. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. You can do as velocity plus equals acceleration times tick interval. Well, yeah, but... Well, actually. You wanted to go faster with time or stay at the same speed? To be honest, I'd like to sort of treat the homing as I just described. So I want to treat the homing input as a second vector, and then set your actual direction to somewhere in between. I don't know how you'd describe this other than just finding the average of two vectors. I'm hoping that this diagram makes sense to you, because it makes sense to me. Going up is where I actually want to go. Like that's your normal direction where it wants to go. And to the right is the thing that it's being magnetized towards. It's just completely to the east. And the length of this arrow is the strength of the homing vector. And so this middle blue arrow is the direction it will actually be taking. Yeah? Does that make sense? You could use exp decay. I think I do that with magnetic, right? I mean, that's sort of the whole point of magnetic, to be perfectly honest. We have, do we not use exp decay? We use POW. Yeah, I mean, I have this movement input force and direction, so I'm just wanting to apply that directly to linear movement. See? So movement input is the direction to the target. The force is based on the magnetic strength, based and on distance as well. So the closer they are, the stronger the force. So this arrow here, if you see the arrow is really big, it probably implies that the target's actually like right next to you. Whereas if it's really small, it probably implies the target's quite far away. So as I said, I want to treat this the same way that you'd handle linear movement input. Like if the player's moving to the west really, really fast and you hold east, you won't immediately turn around and go east. It's just an input that's being added every frame. Velocity is exp decay, velocity homing, velocity decay rate, tick interval. Decay rate? Oh. Velocity, homing, velocity. Does that do the job? It'll make it less tick rate dependent than doing exactly half every tick. Okay. Tick interval. This is happening in tick after a while. Okay. Oh, let me try it out. This gives you a configurable decay rate. What would the point of the decay rate be? Because I already have a designated force based on distance. Which is larger the closer you are to the object. Do I need a second thing giving me variation? Can I not just use it linearly? The higher, the faster the velocity gets pulled towards the homing direction. Yeah, but I already have that with force. The force is produced based on strength and power distance. So I already have something that provides a bigger force the closer they are. Why would I want to do that work twice? You get me? Like I've already got a force which varies based on distance. And this power function could obviously be it could have a different algorithm applied to it. It has nothing to do with distance. The bit in here that says distance, it has nothing to do with distance. Explain yourself. Decay rate. But why would I not want it to be linear? The higher the decay rate, the faster the velocity gets pulled in the homing. It's about tuning speed. Look, we have turning speed, not tuning, turning speed. Look, I have this magnetic component, which has a strength. The strength is varied based on distance. So the closer the object is, if I were to just directly apply this force, the faster it would... The more... Or the larger the force pulling it towards the target. Yeah? So I've already got this with that behavior. You don't need the magnetic component at all if you use this scheme. But that's not what I want. I'm just going to, in which case, just try getting the average between the two and just see how that goes then. So I think we're on different threads here. Let's see. You described averaging the two vectors and that's what you want. You don't need the magnetic component. This is that, but not tick rate dependent. But the velocity vector is produced with the magnetic component. You're asking me to get rid of the magnetic component, so I won't have a second vector. The second vector is the magnetic component. Am I using X decay somewhere? I use it in the camera, right? It's this thing. I remember you saying that the number needs to be between like, what, like 10 and 20 or something? I don't remember. So are you suggesting instead of using movement input, you can produce the velocity vector however you want. You assumed it would be normalized target minus pos multiplied by speed. It is not that. Well, it sort of is. Target direction is that. Direction times speed. Speed in this case is that force which varies based on distance and the base strength. That is basically what it is. Yeah, the magnetic force on it is a separate thing to the bullet's actual movement. Like the sniper rifle might be shooting, and the little shitty gun might be going boo. But in this case, they both have the same magnetic pull onto the enemy. But I expect the sniper rifle to barely move towards the target, and the shitty little bullet to actually curve quite strongly towards it. Which I think is what this does. And what I was doing in the physics system before was, where is it? Treating it the same way that you treat, like, you know, a controller input, for example, where you have an input, you construct force with this, add them together. Component doesn't produce an explicit velocity. It decides a force that it lets the physics system handle, which in turn produces the velocity delta later. Okay. External force in this case, right? And then, yeah, I guess we've got physics systems somewhere having your external force, your linear velocity, and then calculating with external force a linear acceleration, which is based on the force divided by the mass. Fine. Okay, so what exactly is your... What are you saying? Let me have a look at my... We've got our camera here, right? We've got X decay. Would I plug the force into this and just deal with much smaller numbers? Because that seems quite dangerous to change decay rate to force. But that is sort of what it is. If you want the turning rate to be adjusted based on force. Right. I'd need to think of a different way to handle this, perhaps. Or just see how it looks, I suppose. Let's experiment. I mean, this is all low stakes, right? So exponent decay normally gives you a float, right? Hang on, how do I want to deal with this? I have a velocity and velocity. So I want to go between my two velocities. I don't have a velocity right now. But we could say current linear velocity will have some magnetic velocity Have I tried Sea Lion? No, I haven't. It wasn't free when I started this project, so I didn't bother. If you have a linear motion, you want to gradually nudge it towards a point on a specific target, you can implement that completely standalone as a homing with a target ID, a speed, and a decay rate component that just does velocity is exponential decay. Why do the work twice though if I've already got the magnetic system which does that? Because obviously this was built to work with the physics system which was handling all this, but it seems a lot easier to just have an equivalent of what the physics system does. The magnetic system does something completely different. Well, not really. It also nudges the physics towards a particular point. It does very much what I want it to do. How far are you? I don't know, where do you live? What have you implemented so far? A lot. I can't answer that in a short amount of time, and I'm kind of thinking about this. You can skim through the VOD, maybe. If you're on YouTube, you can, like, skim through it and see last time I ran the game. It applies an additive distance varying force towards a target, irrespective. Reading the repo. The repo's not public. Irrespective of total velocity. What do you mean irrespective of total velocity? Consider making a public doc so people can know what you're working on. Nah. I can't be asked. This is very much like I'm streaming my hobby. I'm not gonna put more work in than necessary because it's more shit to maintain. The fact that it takes longer to compile while I'm streaming is already a bit of a downside. It's acting like gravity, it just pulls everything towards a point. It doesn't intentionally redirect the velocity of the thing from the perspective of the thing itself. But I want the the homing bullet to act like gravity. That's kind of the whole point. I'd do it for you if you want. You don't need to do anything. This is a read-only stream. I'm showing you all what I'm doing and we're having a good chat, but I mean, there's a description. You can see in the description what I've written there already, but constantly maintaining a to-do list of things I'm doing and what I've already done is just more work than I want to do. I don't have a client I need to keep updated. This is just something I scribble with on my free time. You already had it doing that and saw what the result was. I thought that's just because I implemented it shittily. Because the bullets were never really meant to have physics, so having to deal with all that nonsense without configuring it was giving us a weird result. I can give your thing a go though. It's just odd. Let's say. I was also quite happy about this thing I've already done. I can reuse the magnetic thing though. I can like leave this stuff as is, even without the homing stuff, just because this means that I could have, if I wanted pickups to just home towards any player, but just to pick the closest player to home towards, this is perfectly fine as is. In fact, I kind of prefer this to the target entity thing I already had. So I'm at least going to keep this work in place, where I pick the closest entity that matches on that team to home towards for the magnetic. But I can try your thing for homing, sure. What did you suggest? Decay rate. Speed and decay rate. What would the value be in having both of those be configurable? Because speed would be the strength of the nudge, right? And decay rate is also adjusting how exp decay moves between those two values. So it's either making the second value in the... Speed is the target speed, decay rate is the strength of the nudge. Yeah, but the target speed is what? The bullet's speed? Am I scared of 3D? No, I can link you my project that I linked earlier.
Oh,
have a look.
Welcome back.
It takes about 5 seconds to make a 16x16 sprite. I would really like to see you do that with a 3D model, which I'm sure you could do if you're really good at Blender. I'm dog shit at Blender. I made like a little house to make my upgrade. That was really quick and easy, and then I can get on to the next thing. Should generally match the initial bullet speed. I'll give your thing a go. Let's see. We've got homing upgrade already, I think, all the way up at the top, but that's more of the... this thing. We can make use of the magnetic component just to make sure it has a target. Maybe? Because I mean, I think I can reuse this. Maybe, or maybe not. I kind of like this closest thing, but maybe the homing can just copy and paste that fucking thing. That's probably a way to extract it. I also am scared of 3D. Have you seen all the plastic anime women behind me? Just kidding. Completely separate thing. Well, I'm not talking about magnetic now. I'm talking about the quad tree thing. But I mean, this is fine to just reuse, I think. Okay, let me think then. So homing bullets. Well, this stuff does matter. Stuff like range, strength, target. That stuff is completely the same. But in this case, it would be I could just apply the homing bullets component to a bullet. If its target is not an ID, then we just move on with our life, and if it is, then we can make use of that. The contents of the struct is the same. Let me think. Because currently I'm applying the homing bullets as magnetic component to the entity. But you're worried about duplicating code, you can make a free utility function. Yes, I could. Yes, Donut, I know. I'm saying that all of the data within this struct is still what I need anyway. Or maybe not the strength so much. Well, no, I do want that. Because I only want... yeah, sure. You don't need to backseat on that bit, that's fine. It's, I'm saying that the contents of the homing bullet is still the same as a magnetic. There's a range in which I'd want it to magnetize through. There's a strength which is related. Maybe instead of 2000, it's more like to 15. because then that would be the exp decay or whatever. And the target's still there. So really it is the same. I can do this. Wow. Incredible. But now what? I think that's quite stupid, to be perfectly honest. You're noticing that you tend to want to reuse systems to reduce duplication, and there's other ways of doing that. There's plenty of ways to reduce code duplication. I think reuse is the best way. It's awfully nice when your code just works. Yes, I know what functions are, don't I? A little condescending. Anyway. I think... to be real, I'm gonna write it as such. Let's see how this looks. Wow. So we can pick a target. What's the issue with using magnetic code? I mean, the original issue is just that magnetic things have physics related to them, which bullets normally just use linear motion. So they have a different system in place for deciding their velocity. Or, you know, how the position updates over time, I should say. That's the easiest explanation, but I think I can do this. So picking a target can happen like this. Picking a target can happen like this, and then I just don't need to actually do this stuff in here if it's a bullet. Easy life. And then coming over here, I can use Donut's suggestion of getting the target. So movement input. Do you need movement input now? I don't think it needs movement input anymore. Does it? Most developers have the instinct coming from OOP where free functions and generic programming is not the norm. Well, maybe I'm not like other girls. Maybe the tool that I'm using is dog shit at extracting functions, so I'd like to make things reusable without having to spend all day playing janitor in my codebase. This is C++20. Maybe if I was using C-Line, I'd extract more. Because when I used Android Studio and stuff, I'd extract stuff, like everything into little functions. It was getting a bit obnoxious. Makes it a little harder to read when everything's extracted. Obviously not in this case. I'm pretty sure if you had a JetBrains IDE and you tried to extract this function, it would even produce a nice signature with what things you need to pass in and blah blah blah. My life's too short for this. It doesn't need to be a perfect game engine, it just needs to do the job as best as I'm happy with. You know? Let's see, magnetic target is close to interactable. The movement input part, what do I need to get my vector? Velocity, target to position multiplied by speed. So I simply need to have magnetic check. If what was your thing called? Donut variant alternative variant contain. Oh, it's also STD. Is what was it? All of? I don't know if that's quite it. There was a way to say variant of. I don't know how to do that with donut variant. Variant has alternative? Check if a variant with alternative T index. If a variant type has a given to one, is it that? Because I don't want to do the whole match. I would just simply like to check if that variant is that type. I thought it was like with the STD variants, it's just something like STD all or something simple. Standard variant. What was that? Variant. There is v.ist. Ooh. So let's see. Magnetic.target.is. Ooh. That's fancy. Okay. So if it is a entity. But hang on, that doesn't actually. Oh, dude, it's playing Demetry. Thanks, YouTube. One of my favorite songs. In here, do I still need to... Is there a way to return it? Is there like a try get, maybe? There is try get. Hey, nice. I don't know if it's const auto or get if. Well, I'd like to assign it to something. Target. Entity. Let's just try const auto ref and see what the type is. Target dot. Oh, is it called get if? You are a entity pointer, so I can say const auto const. You are a entity. Lovely. So we have an entity. We can say, and it's valid. Yeah. Do I need to? Oh. Do I need to dereference you? I thought you were no longer. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, fair enough. This is one of my favorite songs, by the way. I hope you can hear it. Can you repeat why you don't want a separate component for homing? I decided that homing bullets just use all of these in the struct anyway, so the data structure is the same. And the behavior of choosing the closest target with a particular team is exactly the same. So I've already got all the code in place for data and functionality. I see no reason to duplicate it when I can simply just check it's not a bullet and then just not apply this crap. That being said, I may refactor later. I'd just like to see it working first before I do cleanup. Like constructing a whole second system with duplicate or extracting this function and all this crap just to remove this bit. Doesn't seem worth it right now. What about the speed and decay rate? I'll experiment with those first. Speed should be the bullet speed, you said, right? And decay rate, I can just see what 15 looks like. I haven't even worked out yet if I want homing stuff to even have different strengths, so I'd like to see how it looks with different values, and then I'll work out from there. It's experimental. So we've got a target transform. We can get our direction. Yeah, I'm just going to see how things look. It's possible they won't work, and then we'll try other things. That's what I find fun. I like experimenting. That's okay. I'm also not going to bother with the normal other draw position stuff. How do you represent different collider shapes without a rigid inheritance hierarchy? Is this a job interview? Donut circle. I'm not using oop. Like there are shapes which why would I need more than that? The answer is variant. It depends what context you're talking about. Do you have like a donut shape or something, which is a variant? I actually don't remember what signature for this. Leave the variant up to the user. Yeah, I didn't think there's nothing really comparing a donut circle to a donut rectangle, right? They don't extend from shape or view or drawable or collidable or any of that nonsense. I'm pretty sure it's just a circle. It has a radius. Right? Something like that. We want to get our direction, right? Why do I do it like this? Anyway, difference is this. I even call it target transform back there, that's crazy. Velocity can, or the vector, this can be homing vector, maybe? Let's just give it a base speed of 15 or something, or we could even use magnetic speed. We have magnetic strength, let's just use that, which I think I set to 15 in the constructor for this. And then you can say, what was it? Exponential decay. I can have the homing vector, which is a vec 2, linear velocity is a vec 3. Well, you not happy with that? Oh, you want to be afloat? Does exp decay require... oh. Something like that? Maybe? Not position. There's not much functionality shapes have in common anyway. Yeah. I mean, they're not views, they are basically like primitive shapes. It should reassign linear velocity. Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If you... I fucking love this song, dude. I'm sorry if it's too loud, I like it too much. If we think of the bullet as a rocket, right? This is like its normal speed. Going that way. If it starts homing towards something here, it's sort of like you've got like a second sort of thruster here, and then really its thing is like that, which is the thing I drew before here. I guess that makes sense. And then I don't really need the else thing. I can just have it always apply the linear velocity like this. Yeah, okay, I think that's... yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I like that. It does make it accelerate towards the thing, which I guess is fine. Let's just see how it looks, I suppose. Why not? I'm curious. If your geometry level is tile-based, you may not even have a shape for it, just a grid lookup, which is a different code path from entity versus entity. Have you? Wait, hang on. You've been here this whole time. I think I've not compiled and shown you the game, have I? Did you not end up looking through the VOD? Let me show you the game. It's got both. Can you believe it, Marcelo? We have grid lookup for world collision, and we have entity collision handled on with collidables. So these things are all circles, they have their own physics and whatnot to resolve their collisions. The world doesn't have that, it is grid aligned. So these are all done with AABB and doing a grid lookup across the map in a chunk in a particular position. Does that help? Give you a mental image, at least? I hope so. Anyway, let's shoot some of these things. Hey, nice. Homing bullet. Okay, let's see. Target entity was null pointer. I guess I need to make sure that target entity isn't null pointer. I kind of thought that was already handled, but I suppose not. Easy game. Cool stuff. Hell yeah. It is cool stuff. Let's add our null check here. Let's see. We're gonna add homing. Go. Look at it go. Wow. I've made landmines. It's so easy. Beautiful. Just as God intended, I think. It looks just as I always imagined. Dude, look at it go. The rocket's kind of sick. Looks like the target speed is 0. I thought the target speed was 15, but yeah, maybe it's 0. Dude, it's going nuts. It's kind of sick, isn't it? And then it dies after like 10 seconds, I guess, yeah. Acid bullet or something. It's kind of dope. Let me see. Oh, I should have just chucked a breakpoint in here. It's 15. You're not normalizing the difference. Yeah, that's probably it. Let's see how this looks. Check if it's 0. Let's see if it crashes. Damn, that's crazy. Maybe 15's too high. Let's see. Then I normally have like a bit of code. We're gonna be on not a number and end up in the shadow realm. Maybe that's what it's doing. Dude, I watched episode 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 yesterday. It's fucking bonkers. What a bonkers show. Oh, I guess normally I just 0 check it when I'm out of the position. Fine. What was it? Length difference? Something like this. Easy game, right? Is it curving? Need to check the length before normalizing. Oh yeah. Good advice. Thanks. Life moves on. Lovely. Yeah, because I guess if they're literally... Well, they're not going to be literally on top of each other usually, right? The bullet should collide with the entity before that. So that Shouldn't have been the cause of the problems we were having. Wow, look at it go. 15 might not be very high. I think the bullet might be moving with a lot more pizzazz than that. Oh, it's kind of curving, maybe? I can't tell. It's not very accurate. You've done it before we get... Oh, you can do distance too, can't you, as well? You've done it before we get length difference, check it's larger than epsilon. That's what I was thinking about. I remember there being a spot where we do this sort of thing normally. Limits float, right? It's this stuff. Well, maybe not you. Oh, hang on, I have a maths thing for... Oh, was I already using... Maybe this is what I was using. Maybe I'm being dumb. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Saves you from calculating the square root by calling normalize again. You've done it before where you get length difference, check if it's greater than epsilon, then divide difference by that to normalize it. Have I done that? Numeric limits float? Or vec2? No, this is float. And then it's epsilon. You should have someone. Try normalize. Ooh. That might be smart. I have done this in a million places. A homing bullet always moves at the same speed. Does it have to? Auto aim, what is this, Apex? Did the bullets in Apex home? I thought they just changed the direction. The initial... Fuck. The initial direction. I think I'm playing Apex later. Been playing Pathfinder more recently. I fucking love Pathfinder. So I guess I can store length difference. Try normalize will be included in V3. When's it coming out? Just call it libgram. Draw a fucking GG Muringram and release it. Good lord. You could do it. It's okay. She won't come after you. Let's see, I might want to give it a bit more, you know, let's give it like fucking 50. The homing direction usually only changes the direction, not the velocity. Depends what game. I don't know how I'm doing it yet. I just want to get it working in some way before I start thinking about that. I don't want homing in this case to just be like a complete lock-on where the direction is immediately exactly the target. Like I don't want it to go boom. I want it to be like Dude, that fade looks lovely. Me at the fucking barber. Doesn't seem to be doing shit, does it? In fact, does not seem to even be coming in here. Oh. Length difference is not greater than fucking epsilon. Am I losing my mind? Is it less than? Less than, less than, less than or equal to. Stupid man. It should be larger than. Eh? Oh, that's maximum. Wait, hang on. Epsilon is, is epsilon the biggest number? I thought it was the smallest. No? Target transform and transform the same. I thought epsilon was like the smallest value that you could reasonably expect from this data type. Oh, hang on, no, I'm not stupid man. I'm stupid man for calling myself stupid man. Yeah, hang on a moment. Transform is the entity's transform. That is the bullet's transform. Is the target entity itself? It shouldn't be, but maybe, yeah. Let's see. Maybe it's going to itself somehow. Like, that's possible. It shouldn't be, but it's possible. The homing direction usually only changes the direction, not the velocity, then just cap the turn, right? That's what this is in exponential decay. I think. Pretty sure. Let's see. So if we're the same entity, it should never get in here. Epsilon's mostly used for calculus. It's meant to mean a very small step, but used when integrating that's small enough to get good results, but big enough to avoid noise from limited precision. Yes. Oh, it's not necessarily the smallest number you can do with a float. It's just the smallest number you give a shit about. Right? Because for example, if you want your physics object to stop moving when it's close to 0, you don't write if speed is less than 0.0001, then set it to 0. You say if speed is less than, speed is less than or equal to epsilon, for example, set it to 0. The smallest number is smaller than epsilon. How do they define epsilon? This is the machine epsilon as a 32-bit float. I'm being taught 2 things. Can't believe it. Hang on, I need to make sure they aren't the same target. Hang on, I can easily check that by just putting a breakpoint in and just see if the transforms are the same. Although I guess they were. It's the difference between 1.0 and the next float after 1.0. Ooh. So difference is 0. What? Yeah, they have the same position. Hang on, am I stupid? Please. Am I stupid? It must be... Its target must be itself, right? Entity is 131. Target entity is 131. So it is homing to itself, which explains why it was going into the nether realm. But why is it itself? Because when we're doing the check to find who... Oh. Entity? Entity in this case is the thing that has is magnetized. Oh, hang on. Your entity... Magnetic target. No, that's not it. This should be preventing that. It should set closest interactable as your entity. Smarty, you got it. That must be it. Good catch, buddy. Yeah. Is this a toxic relationship, Donut? Don't answer that. Yeah, look! Sorry. Look at it. That's it's a bit strong. It's a little strong. Maybe it's a little strong, but you know, you get the idea, right? Hang on. Let's spawn a room with like a bunch of enemies in it and give myself a shotgun. That's too many enemies. The game can't handle that many enemies right now in debug mode. Okay, I need to fucking restart. I've destroyed something. It might be a little high. It might be a little strong. This feels very much like what's the bolt marrow? It's like bolt marrow. It's a bit strong. Spawn more enemies, please. All right, player, SMG, go. Did I get myself homing? I didn't. Need to get myself homing. Oh dear. Hang on, I have to see this with the revolver's right click. So you hold right click and it like produces a sort of McCree thing. Look at that shit go. 5 to 25, yeah. I just need to make the magnetic strength not so high, maybe. What does this do with the knife? Because the knife also is a projectile. Does this home in? No. I guess the alt is a different thing, that's good. But the actual knife stab will home, I think. Maybe? Maybe not. No, it doesn't seem to be, somehow. By accident. Maybe it doesn't have linear velocity or something. Hang on. Let's make less enemies, maybe. Give myself a shotgun. This is what I want to see. Or like the flamethrower. What do you think a homing flamethrower is going to do? Give us a red one so it goes really far. Oh my god, it's a fucking... It's game over. That's so cool. I'm glad I waited to do this. Look at this shit go. It's like sniffing them out. What's Winston's fucking weapon in Overwatch? The like lightning gun that like homes in on shit? Look at this shit go. Is that why she's in a crater? Does this look like a big crater? There's gonna be a cutscene of her waking up on like a big pile of bodies. Robot bodies, so it's chill with the government. Because they're robots, it's okay to do harm to them. Starting area looks like one. Reimu A, yeah, dude. Sniper. Oh my god, look at the fucking sniper rifle, dude. It's thirsty. It's too strong. Look at it go. What's it doing? What the fuck? That's insane. It's too strong. It's too strong. Hang on. Give me a homing sniper rifle again. Give me a red sniper rifle. Starting area looks like one. Oh, I thought this was meant to be a tree. My bad. I don't know what happens when it's doing that. I have a feeling it's just not doing any damage or something. Because it certainly has a hitbox. See? Is it just too close? Maybe the sniper rifle moves too fast, you know? And it's like, it's approached Epsilon penetration system. Might be that it just gets to like zero damage, right? I probably should destroy the bullet if it just has no, it doesn't do any damage. I think it's just because the sniper rifle goes really fast. I don't think the other bullets will be doing this. Shotgun maybe, or red. Oh my god, this thing's brutal. Holy shit. It does make me think of bolt marrow. I love bolt marrow. I mean, look at this shit. You can shoot shit like around corners. It's brutal. Probably should have something that occasionally checks to see if the target's gone too far away and then it stops homing. Okay, that's nice. Great work. Great work. Alright, good idea, Donut. Let's mark the enemy as hit penetrated and skips damage after that. Yeah, maybe actually. Bullets were never meant to move like this. I guess it's because it never leaves the hitbox. That's fine. I'm gonna leave it for now. I think it's funny. I can't be asked to fix it, mostly. Let me try with a smaller strength. Let's give it like 1. See how that looks. Lightning weapon would be fucking cool. This is just strength 1. Oh dear, that's not good. I think I see a problem with it replacing linear velocity. Do you see the problem with it just replacing linear velocity? Maybe you see the problem with it? I kind of don't want it to... the bullet to just give up and start... What's it doing? It's so weird. They shouldn't do that. Where's it getting its target speed from? You mean the speed of the magnetic thing is just that's kind of your point. What was your point? The angle thing or what? Let me think. The speed for the normalized time speed. That's just the base magnetic strength, which was the thing that I was doing there. You said we could calculate that otherwise? Or could that just be the bullet's speed? Maybe? Like the length of... using strength for that. Yeah, just wanted to see what that would do. This is why we do experimenting. I mean, that could also just be... you thought it'd be passed to decay rate. No? Well, that's this. You mean this? How else would I want to decide the... Should this not just be maybe then the bullets to make the homing less or more strong? Okay. Should this instead just be the bullet speed? Turn to face the enemy without altering speed? It would just be the base bullet speed. Yeah. In which case, the only difference then is the direction. Let's try that. In which case, the bullet speed in this case is going to be the linear velocity length? Or what? Because there's no speed in this case. And the bullet speed is not a good thing to read from, because when the bullet bounces off walls, the speed gets reduced. It's just red the first time you shoot it. And I expect bullet speed will be modified by other shit in the future. So I don't want to read that. I can get the linear velocity length, maybe? Because then it will vary as the bullet gets slower from turning. Well, there's no speed then. There's just velocity. So that doesn't work then. Linear velocity could store like last speed or something, and then when I reduce the speed or increase it from something, I could modify that little cache as well. Could do that. But I mean, linear velocity is a direction multiplied by bullet speed, right? It should be getting past him when it's spawned. Yes, but then you're ignoring what I just said, which is that the bullet speed will vary over the course of its lifetime. If it bounces off a wall, the speed is reduced. Which is why I suggested what I just suggested. I can reduce the music if it's a little loud. I'm enjoying it, but maybe it's a little loud on your end. Let's just try changing this to 5. And just for now, because this system is small, let's just hardcode it to it'll depend on itself and be tick rate dependent again. The music is fine. Oh, do you want me to raise it again? Hey, Pills. Oh! Never mind. The decay itself affects linear velocity. Is this a nevermind? That looks nice. This is just the 15 thing again, isn't it? I mean, this looks okay. It's a bit strong still, but you know. If I change this 15, I'm gonna try it. Let's just see how it looks. Why not? Let's just experiment. It takes just a moment. Why not? Let's see how it looks. And just set this really small, like 3 even. It's fun to try things. It'll be dependent on tick rate. Let's just leave it for now and then see how this looks. Behave differently if you ever change it. That would suck. Lots of ifs and buts and candies and nuts, but it's still Christmas. I think just... actually, that's a bit strong, isn't it? Or is it because it bounced off the wall? I think it needs to stop homing if it's too far away from its target. So... watch this. I'm going to try something silly. If we have a target transform... blah, 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 blah. If length difference is larger than magnetic dot range, how about this? Etc. Magnetic dot target equals registry dot try get team from the magnetic target entity dot team. Well, that's just it, isn't it? Can you do that? Maybe one of these? About this. Const auto. Const auto. Const. Target team. Let me just do this, and we'll just say the target team. Registry.target, and the target entity needs to be fucking one of these bastards, and then you need to be like this, and bam. And can I just break? Continue? Probably continue. It's const? Nah. American? No. You can see when it tries to slow down, it stays there and can't get faster again. Target speed needs to be constant, or at least only change on bounce or whatever. Yeah, I might do what I suggested and like just store the speed somehow. Intended speed. I have linear... I don't still have movement input, because movement input has desired speed on it. Linear motion could just store its desired speed. It should only affect rotation, not the speed. I kind of like how it like slows to turn. I don't know. But yeah, if we make it move based on its with a static speed, then it should just move, rotate. Okay. So if we are far away, then we turn it back into its team. I don't know the strength you could use. Yeah. Where's magnetic? We have strength, range, and target. But I mean, maybe it's just handy in general for things to know the last... Maybe missiles can have slow to turn. Yeah. I mean, certain games, like Nuclear Throne even has that as a balancing. They have normal crossbows. They basically home in immediately, whereas heavy crossbows are only barely affected. Keep using strength as decay rate. Let's just experiment with this idea I've just had, where if you go far enough away, it should find a new target. See how that looks. Just curious. The fuck? That was weird. Why is he thinking for a second? Oh, it's because it doesn't have a target anymore, I guess. It kind of doing what I mean, I guess. Won't solve the slow turning. Yeah, I know. I know. Don't worry. That's because it's doing continue. It's ignoring this stuff. I don't want to continue then. It's not actually updating its shit. The bullet should only home to enemies in front of it. I think it could be affected if the bullet's moving this way and its target is here. It should slightly turn. I don't know. It's okay. It's a silly little upgrade. Let me do an else. Okay. Calm. Become calm. Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel relaxed? Said Dumbledore to Harry Potter. Or maybe I could store it on the bullet. Hmm. Man, F2 works. Not squishy. I guess I'm only doing this with magnetic stuff for now. I just don't have to try get magnetic everywhere I'm changing it. Bullet having an existential crisis if it should kill midway cracks you up. Yeah, it's like... Oh! And then it just gives up anyway and then goes for it. It's because its target disappears and it doesn't have any... What's the thing where, like, if I go like, oh, I'm gone. Here I am, you know? Consistent? What's the word? Where, like, if you can forget if you don't see it, that things are there, like persistency? Leave the dead stop. Peekaboo? I don't think it's called peekaboo. Object permanence, yeah, not peekaboo. Dude, the idea of a peekaboo bullet is fucking terrifying. Woo! Yeah, object permanence. Alright. X crunch. How do I want to store this shit? Bullet could also just store it on itself. This kind of only works for magnetic stuff, meh. Little hamster. The homing component calls to you. Shut up. Look at this fucking chicken. There you go. Get distracted, idiot. Now you can't see me thinking. Sure, that won't break anything. Phew. What's wrong, little guy? Oh, you want a Vec too, don't you? Oh. Get lengthed. Well, the emotion is probably the last place you'd put it. Well, if Donut says that, fuck, what am I thinking? Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. What was I thinking? God, I'm so stupid. Oh, fuck. How about that? Not bad. Not bad. Raw speed, not a multiplier. There we go. Probably going to remember what this does, right? Don't know, I'm going to fucking throttle you. There you go. Are you happy now? Are you happy? Now we're all happy. Except the... Yeah, there we go. It's on one line now. Drive the donut chap target speed. I think that's exactly what we want to call it. There you go, little lad. Phew! Alright. Entity factory. Spawn bullet. What's bullet speed? Bullet.start velocity. You still need this. Maybe I could just use movement inputs, desired speed. That makes sense. Anyway, whatever. Desired speed, wish speed? Oh, wish speed. That's very, like, Fairly Odd Parents. Hang on a moment. Looks good to me. Should be a float, by the way. Add that in as well. There you go. Now I won't forget. Now that's Hungarian notation. That's Swedish notation. Phew. Nearly lost it for a second there. Yeah. Looks good to me. You can be 1 by default, just in case I fuck things up. Nah, you know what? You can be 0. Enjoy being 0, idiot. I think in what is it? Collision? Oh, I like that. I like that Forreston. Let's go with that. Oh, wait, hang on. Reflect? Do I not do any reflect in here? It's just in physics system? Eh. Wow, that's really cocking things up, isn't it? Here we go. Oh, we're going to do, if const, well, not const, we're going to do auto const magnetic is registrate or try, we're going to try get magnet. Manga. I'm gonna try getting manga from this fucking lad. Fucking squeezing blood from this stone. One of these bastards. And I'm gonna say, Wister. that the only place I'm setting it? For real? Alright, see how this looks. Wish speed. Yeah, the API was fucking clobbered. Alright, fine, I'll fucking... Oh wait, you should be defaulted already. How about you go under it? How do you feel now, little guy? Dude, that chicken's just staying there. It's crazy. Build. I know you can. Weird that F2 didn't fucking work, huh? Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought F2 wouldn't work? Crazy. Max range. F2, 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 F2. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, let's just go with length does make sense. Yo. Yeah, boy. Kind of hurts my mouth to do that. Eh? Nande? Wow, that's bonkers. Probably should fix that. Yeah, I like that it's now forgetting its, it can, like, successfully forget its target and find a new one. Weird that it's still slowing the fuck down though. Maybe it's exponential decay is getting a little crazy style when it's close by. You around for Apex today in 15 minutes or not? I totally can be. Is Cake around? You want to play Apex? Hey Tommy, check this out. There's a fucking homing bullet. Look at this. I can make it crazy style strong. Can you show the expert decay again? For you, my dearest friend? Of course, anything for you. You just have to ask. Let's set this like fucking 15 again. Why is my face hidden? It's not. Check this out, Tommy. It shouldn't slow down if you've done it right. I guess I've fucked it up. Guess I'm a fuck up. Just a fucking idiot. Just a gamer. Not a software developer. Like that guy said earlier. Check it out. I'm gonna give myself fucking homing bullets. They're crazy strong, Dio. Look at this shit. They're fucking sniffing their friends out. Unless it doesn't have a target. If it doesn't have a target, I should double check that actually if it doesn't have a target. Look at that fucking crazy style shit. Hogger's aim assist. Yeah, look, and if I use my McCree right click, it fucking, that shit like all fucking homes. I can give myself a fucking SMG, this shit fucking goes bonkers. Check this out, flamethrower as well. Or did I kill all the baddies? No, I didn't. This sniffs people out. The flamethrower is homing. It's going bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But yeah, did Cake say he could play? In which case I can totally finish this fucking charade. If it has no target, it'll stop doing the exp decay. If it has magnetic, if it's a target, otherwise, you can play. Okay, dope. Yeah, I can make myself ready. So at 5:30. It should just be using its normal this thing, right? You could just set the speed back to the target speed when it doesn't have one. Yeah, I was thinking about that. We've got this There you go. There you go, little bro. There you go. Yeah, I can just use that, I guess. Maybe? Yeah. Yeah. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. No, no. There you go, little guy. Set that back to fucking like 4 or some shit. And then in, what is it, collision system, and we're doing penetrated. You enjoying the new chicken VTuber model? Thanks, buddy. It has dealt damage. Yeah, because you can only deal damage to the same target once. If it hasn't dealt damage... If they're intersecting... Oh yeah, it's meant to just ignore it. So... Probably should just not allow targets that it's dealt damage to. So this thing, when it's deciding for targets, it should ignore enemies impacted. That's easy enough to do. Chat, I need to speedrun. I need to do this shit in like 7 minutes. Otherwise my friends won't hang out with me. IRL puppet VTuber model. Are you talking about fucking Sesame Street? Are you talking about Sooty and Sweep? Bastard. Wow, look at that shit. They didn't stream last time. Bet they would. It's homing too strong, my buddy. I was kind of thinking maybe I could give it different tiers of strength. I guess it's the fact that I'm now giving it its target speed again. It doesn't have its original direction in mind or anything. You get me? Like, it's just... Even if it loses its target, it's still probably moving in that rough direction, maybe. What about if I set the speed to just be half of the target speed? How would that look? Just curious. What's the lowest you've tried? 3. The numbers go smaller? What numbers are smaller than 3? Epsilon, I guess. It doesn't really do what I want. Yeah, it doesn't work. Whatever. Let's try like 1 or something. I don't know. Let's try 1, maybe. 1. I'm gonna actually... Oh, fuck, 4 minutes. There's no time! Collision system. Get AABB. Entity list. Penetrates. We want to check in here. Closest target. Team. Entity. Here we go. STD optional. Penetrates equals registry dot try. Oh, like this. If regit dot. Actually, how does this work? Can I just say try get penetrates on entity? I could just make you a pointer. You're fine as well. You can just be a pointer. Okay, we'll have to do a check in here to make sure the entities impacted doesn't contain target. To do. Next time. I gotta go. I gotta play Apex, chat. Did you like the stream today? I think I made terrific progress. The bullets won't go zoom and zabom and wow wow wow. How amazing. How bonkers. So cool. Did you like the stream? I hope you did. Okay, one does not really seem to be doing much at all, does it? I can try 2 as well. Very cool, yes. Wow. Oh, my face is visible again. I don't like that. Alright. Homing. This is with 2. So yeah, 1... We just need to try different numbers for exponential decay, I guess. And then I'll fix the entities impacted thing, which would stop it from doing this back and forth nonsense. Also, remove its target, magnetic target, if it collides. Alright, cool. Great work, guys. See you guys tomorrow, maybe. Maybe not.